Hey, this is Jeff with Eternity Shore, and one of the questions that I had when I first got into boating, and again, I was new to boating in my mid-40s, was how expensive is it? How expensive is it to buy a boat, to operate a boat, to maintain one on an annual basis? And so with this edition of New to Boating, that's what we're going to talk about. How much does it cost to own and maintain a boat? And to do this, I think the best way to actually do this is to compare our previous boat, Eternity Shore, our Bayliner 190 deck boat, 2013, with our current boat, which we haven't actually used yet, which is a 2004 Chris Craft 33 Express Cruiser. And we're going to look at annual maintenance costs. In both of these cases, I'm not assuming that you have a payment on your boat, because that'll just widely vary. You know how much you can afford in terms of your monthly payment if you need that on a boat. If you buy an older boat and you're able to lay out cash for that, that's great. But that's your situation. So we're not looking at any boat payments. We're looking basically at the cost of maintaining, running, storing, just taking care of each of these boats. So we're going to start out first with the one that's definitely cheaper. It's the 2014 Bayliner deck boat. This boat has a single Mercury 4-stroke outboard engine of 150 horsepower. And in both of these cases, for this boat and the Express Cruiser, we're going to assume that we're taking the boat out 30 times during a season. In fact, that's basically kind of what we average. We used our boat a lot. Now, this boat was trailered with our 2006 Chevy Suburban, which gets about 11 miles per gallon when it's hauling a 3,500 pound boat, that's on a 1,000-pound trailer. So you're pulling about 45 to 5,000 pounds with gas on that. And so we're going to start out by talking about how much money it takes to get to and from where you're boating. For us, we are 40 miles away, basically, plus or minus 5, to the nearest bodies of water. With our deck boat, we went to the Potomac River. We also went to the Chesapeake. We went up towards Baltimore. So we put in different spots. And so that's going to depend on your situation. You can spend a lot less if you have a boat ramp nearby. But for us, we did 40 miles each way. And at 40 miles each way, you're doing about 2,500 miles at 11 miles per gallon. You're basically burning 227 gallons of fuel for your Suburban. And as I'm doing this video, gas is about $3.30 at the pump, which you can do for both the boat and the Suburban, for us. And that equals about $750 a year in fuel for your tow vehicle. What about other expenses? Trailer registration. It's going to cost you $135 a year, at least here. Sorry, that's every 2 years actually, to trailer your boat, to register your trailer. Boat insurance was pretty inexpensive for a 19-foot deck boat. It's about $275 a year. Registration is another $50 a year. Ramp fees. Your ramp fees depends on where you live. We had a park pass, so that we went to Sandy Point Park, and that was $75 a year. And then about all the rest of the locations, that added up to about $250 a year in ramp fees. Again, that's going to vary depending upon where you're putting in and if how expensive those things are. Well, what about boat fuel? Well, for a 150 horsepower Mercury 4-stroke, we got about 4 miles to the gallon with that boat, and that was pretty good. And I looked up the receipts in about a year of boating, and we spent about $600 in about a year on gas for this boat. But remember, that's filling up at a gas station, and gas stations are going to be cheaper than marina fuel stations. There's quite a bit of expense difference there. Maintenance. Maintaining your outboard, maintaining your trailer. For us, we spent $900 in the year maintaining our trailer because I burned through one of the wheel bearings on the highway. So that's a bit of expensive. You're probably not going to spend that much every year, but we did that particular year, so I'm adding that in. We spent about $400 in boat maintenance. This included things like cleaning supplies, engine oil and filter, lower gear oil, fuel filter. We had a replacement speaker for our audio system, and we had some new lines. Now, we did all of that maintenance ourselves. I did not pay a marina to do any maintenance, and that may be a big difference depending upon what you're able to do for your boat. And lastly, winter storage. For us, winter storage was basically free. It was at the side of my house. Yes, I bought a tarp, but it was negligible, and it lasted several years. So total, what are we looking at to own for a year for the Bayliner 190 deck boat? About $3,360 for the year, or about $300 a month. Again, that does not include any boat payment that you may have if you finance a boat. All right, so that's the little guy. Let's talk about the Chris Craft 33 Express Cruiser. Let's start with the good news. If you're traveling to and from the marina for us, our marina is 40 miles away. Each way, my Accord gets 30 miles per gallon, so I'm not going to burn what I burned in the Suburban. So gas is going to be about $273 a year to go back and forth to the marina, and that's about $500 difference in fuel. And we have no ramp fees, obviously, because our boat is at a marina. So you're saving about $250 in ramp fees. So that's nice. You get a savings right off the bat of $750. But that is going to go away quickly. If we also assume 30 trips this coming year as well, what I did was I assumed 20 short trips of about 15 miles round trip, just really for us. Oftentimes we'll probably go to Hart Miller Island and just sort of plunk it down there for the day. And then I planned for this coming season 10 overnights, each of which could be up to maybe 60 miles. So we're going about 30 miles each direction for a total of 600 miles. So that's 300 miles on short trips, 600 miles on long trips. So that's about 900 miles. And you think, well, okay, how many miles per gallon are you going to get? Well, while my deck boat and my outboard engine gets about 4, maybe even 5 miles to the gallon, you have to assume with these twin engines, 300 horsepower Volvo Penta, you're going to get about a mile per gallon. And this is a sticker shock, because at a mile per gallon, and right now fuel at a marina is about $3.75, you're spending $3,375 the coming year just on fuel alone. So that is basically as the total of what I spent on everything the previous years, per year for the deck boat. That's why it's a lot more expensive to own a bigger boat. Another expense, doing 3 marinas at $2 a foot per night is another $204 just for the year. We're just going to conservatively do 3 marinas maybe this year. At the marina, the home marina where we're storing our boat, how much does that cost? Well, for us, we have a floating dock, which is great because as opposed to a fixed dock, as the tide goes up and down, those lines that we attach to that dock are not going to be stretched out and go back and forth, so it's a little safer for the boat. That's $26.25 for the year for 1 full year. Add to that an electric hookup for our shore power, and that's a metered hookup, so you get like from the electric company a bill, and I think that will probably average out to about $300 for the year. It may be actually significantly less, I'm not sure. Another expense, at the end of the year, you're going to haul the boat out, and the boat gets power washed, and it has to be blocked and put up on blocks and stored. At our marina, that's actually pretty reasonable. That whole thing of hauling it out, power washing the bottom, blocking it, and then relaunching the spring is $474. So add that to the total. Now, maintenance. Here comes the fun. Let's talk about maintenance. We're going to bottom paint our boat. The boat hasn't been bottom painted for a couple years. It should happen every year. This is about $20 a foot. That would include paint. Other marinas maybe will be cheaper. We're spending more money this year than I'd like to. That averages out to about $680 for bottom paint, and that would be per year if your boat is going to be in the water. If you have the marina, do your winterization process. You need to winterize those engines, the lower units, your air conditioning, your generator, your fresh water systems, your hot water heater. It all needs to be winterized. I did a winterization that only included the outboard, and I did it all myself. If we have the marina do it, each of those engines and lower units will be $525 a piece for a total of $1,050. If you add the winterization for the air conditioner, generator, fresh water, and hot water heater, they run about $110 each. So each of those systems will add up to a total of $440 if we have the marina do it. Boat insurance is significantly more expensive for a larger boat. We are paying at least $1,200 this particular year. So you're going to talk about $1,200 for boat insurance. And lastly, if you need to haul your boat out for whatever reason, maybe there's something that you have to fix with the lower unit, or there's something on the bottom that you need to do. When you haul the boat out, it costs money for them to haul it out. So I'm just anticipating one haul out and one put back during the middle of the season. And if you need to do that, that haul out and then putting back into the water will be about $350. So, phew, that's a lot of expense. What does that add up to? That's a total of $10,971, assuming no further maintenance, which of course is not going to happen. But if I can do the winterization myself, and I think I can save about $1,000. But let's just say I'm throwing that $1,000 back into maintenance for the boat that I will have to pay someone else to perform. So at the end of the day, we're still stuck with $10,971, or about $900 per month. That's versus $300 per month for your 19-foot deck boat. Okay, so with this big number sitting on the screen, let me make a couple of comments related to us. First, if you look back on an earlier video, you know that we got into boating in part because my parents ended up selling their shore house of 50 years. They blessed us with some of the proceeds of that sale to make this kind of thing financially possible for us. In essence, this boat is like a second home, and if you own an express cruiser and you don't have unlimited means like us, you have to look at it this way. Second, boating for us was a big lifestyle change. It's what we do together, with our family, and with our friends. Almost all of our entertainment and recreation money go into boating, and much of our free time. If you are not prepared for a lifestyle change, don't get a boat. It will be more of a hassle for you.